Welcome guys. So in our series of MySQL database, today we are going to talk about MySQL slap utility. It's a load emulation client which is used for running some tests, load tests on the databases. So what is it? Let's start it. Okay, so MySQL slap is a diagnostic program designed to emulate client load for a MySQL server and or report the timing at each stage. Okay, so if multiple clients are accessing the server, it will work like this. Like it will uh, test like some many clients are loading accessing the server at the same time, and they are running few queries, so it will provide results based on them that. So we can test it based on the parameters provided by us, and it has some parameters. We'll see the parameters when we are doing the lab. Okay, so it MySQL slab runs in three stages. Okay, so when we run this script for MySQL slab, it runs in three stages. One is create schema, create table, and all the things it is uh, creating the things to test. Okay, and then it's load the test. Like it runs the test program, and then it clean up the databases tables created by it during the test, and also disconnects from the database. So it's a single client. This MySQL slab uses a single client connection to run a test where uh, it can be using hundred of clients, okay, thousand of clients. Okay, so it can be test like that, but it for this thread MySQL slab uses only single thread connection. Okay, so what are the basic parameters for this MySQL slab so that we'll run the test on 4000 or 100,000, 500, some those much users. So the main parameter for this is concurrency and iteration. So what are these? So the concurrency parameter determines the number of clients connections that will be active during the test. Okay, okay, you'll take a snapshot of this if you want. I'm just telling you the brief. Okay, so concurrency will tell you about the number of clients at a particular time during the test. Okay, you can make them higher, lower based on your requirement. Okay, the another parameter is iteration. So the iteration parameter specify the number of times the defined workload will be repeated. Like if we have 100 users, if we have concurrency of 100, which means 100 simultaneous users, and their iteration will define the query. uh, how much time a single query will be run. Okay, so the 100 users, if the iteration is one though, so the 100 users will run this the script specified only one time. If the this parameter is 100, so the 100 users will be run the same script 100 times. Okay, so this is how we manage this test, like thousand of users running this script 1,000 times, like that. So okay, so together these parameters allow you to configure the load on the MySQL server. Okay, that's what I told you earlier. So these are the basic parameters. We'll see a lot. There are a lot of parameters. We'll see that in the lab. Okay, so some parameters for MySQL slab are create and query, which enables you to specify a string containing a SQL statement or a file containing statements. Okay, if you use this, then it will be using the file particular. Okay, so I'll show you these based in all of these things in the lab. Okay, so if you specify a file that it must then by default it must contain a statement per line. Okay, okay, if you have multiple lines, then you can use delimiter option as well. Okay, which enables you to specify statements that span multiple lines. Okay, so you can use delimiter in this as well. So the basic uh, syntax for this is MySQL slap, then create schema. We can use any schema we want for the test. Okay, then the user root and the password. You can use any users. The root your defined some defined users as well. Okay, so this is what we talked. MySQL slab concurrency 50, iterations 10. Like 50 users will run the same script 10 times, and the script will be at this. You see the query. This parameter will be used when you want to run a script at a particular location. So query will show you that. And the create schema is temp1, like we are using temp1 schema for our this load test. Okay, then user and password. Okay, so here are a few features of MySQL slap utility, like load testing. I already told you this will be used for testing load on the MySQL server. You can use multiple clients, multiple iterations, okay, for that, so that you can test that 1,000 clients will be running the scripts on your database server. What is the impact of that? Okay, so you can do that. Also, benchmarking in MySQL Lab, you can benchmark the performance of the MySQL server. Like you can run a test of 1,000 users running a statement. That will be your benchmark for, and create the benchmark that it measures various performance metrics such as the response times, throughput, and concurrency. So that will be a benchmark for your MySQL database. Like for 1,000 users, it will be running like that. Flexible workload, like you can use any number of users, concurrent users you can define in this. The same, you can take the snapshot of it. I'm not going to tell you each and every letter written in here. Okay, so server profiling, it can be used in conjunction with profiling options to collect performance data such as CPU usage, IO statistics, and query execution time during load test. Okay, you can also run your show engine InnoDB status. That will also tell you the status of the concurrent queries, all those. Okay, and output formatting. You can output your the scripts and the load results into some file such as a CSV file or any file, XLS, any file you can use for taking the output of the load test. Okay, if you want to share that with someone, so you can do it. So you can analyze the output for MySQL slab with below are the parameters. Okay, so it will tell you the average queries per second. That will be uh, how much time, like it will, like 1,000 users are running the query 10 times, so how much time, so it will give you the average of one query for one client. Okay, so that will give you the average of all the queries. Average latency, like latency refers to the time taken for a query to be processed by the server. Okay, so the average latency metric period provides an indication how quickly the server respond to queries. This is very much important if you have low CPU usage or your memory is low. So this is the best parameter you can look at. Total execution time, how much time will it take to run the test of 1,000 users running those queries 1,000 times or 10 times. So that's the parameters you can see, so that you can provide the results to someone who is expecting that much users are running a particular query. Then after, standard deviation of latency, this matrix uh, measures the variability of spread in the response time of queries. This the latency, it is related to that, like how much time that is up or down maybe in the latency. Then the percentage of slow queries. This parameter slow shows the proportion of queries that took longer than the certain time, like longer than the average time for a particular query. So this parameter will tell you that. So this parameter helps you to identify the queries that may be experiencing performance problems. Okay, so it will be telling you the queries so that you can optimize those queries if those are not performing well. Okay, by analyzing these output metrics, you can evaluate the performance characteristics of your MySQL server, and under a particular load, you can say. Okay, so thanks, and let's go to the lab and see how this works. Okay, so here I have some queries I have already written. Let's see, let's go to the database first. So going to the data directory, where MySQL is installed. Here is MySQL installed. You see, this is your MySQL slap utility. Okay, so how you do it? You can open the command prompt here, or mention the um, open the command prompt anywhere and mention this cd to this location. Okay, change that, then change your directory to this location. I'm just opening it here. This is the another way to open a command prompt anywhere. Okay, so what's our first script? Let's see. Okay, so this is our script. When you want the MySQL to create the query by its own, okay, you are not providing any query, so you are using auto generate SQL. Okay, number of initial columns, number of initial uh, characters per column, so you can use that like this. So this will be your workload, like 5 concurrent users are doing the same query 20 times. Iteration is 20, concurrency is 5, which means 5 users are accessing the database concurrently. Okay, so let's see if that works. We are using a particular user, the password is, it's running. At the same time you can use show engine DB status. Okay, oh, that's the another user I'm using. uh, Let me connect to root. Okay, so this will tell you everything. Let me show that what's going on here. You see, it is showing you all the scripts running at a particular time, how many threads are created for that load, if those are writing, if those are reading. Okay, so it will tell you everything. Our test is running. Okay, yeah, it's run right now. Okay, it just okay. So the another thing is, you can use this query. You are providing a script in the query. Okay, for that you can use this variable. Let me show you the all the parameters for this MySQL slap hyphen help. Okay, so these are the parameters, all the parameters you can see. Okay, auto generate SQL, and defaults. This is concurrency, create. This will be using when you are using a script from a file. Create schema, the schema where you want to run your tests. Any name you can provide that will be dropped after our load test. Okay, so there are all these parameters you can think of. You can take a note of these and you can use them in your scripts. Okay, so let us run our another script in which we are providing a script here. Okay, so we are also using like here. You see, we can use columns, and in that columns we can provide our script. So create will be used when you provide when you want to provide this script in this load test, and this query will uh, it will be using for creating the tables and providing the script. The query will be used to run the read statements. Okay, the query will be select or something. The concurrency is 50, iterations is 200. So let's see, we are in the bin, MySQL bin. Oops, I haven't. Also, not here. Here we have used delimiter. You see, this is our delimiter, so that our it will tell that our command will be exiting here, and this is the next command. You can use this. Okay, I have provided the script and then the password. So our test is running. We can run this again. 7:03 a.m. EST. Let's see what's the status right now. Okay, you see, transactions are going on, IO threads are going on. You can check your engine's database status from here. What's going on with the database right now? Okay, so let's see our test. Yeah, that's run. Okay, so you can analyze these like average maximum number of seconds to run all queries. You see, 1 second. Number of clients running queries 50. Let's see if we have provided 50 as concurrent users. You see, concurrency is 50. That will be showing there. 50 users are using that. Okay, so this is when you provide the scripts within your command. Okay, but what if you want to create a provide a script which is placed at some particular location? Okay, so so you see, I'm using the query parameter and my query is placed at this location. Let's see, this is our location of the script. We are creating a table and then inserting data in it. Let's see how much time does it take. These are the parameters you can see, you can use while you test. Oh, you see, there's the error. Why we are getting this error? I'll show you. Okay, you see, we are in our query, we are defining, we are telling to use temp1 database. Let's see if we have temp1 database in our database or not. Oops, here and here. We do not have temp1 here. So how to avoid this? We can use we can create the temp1 database here and then we can run that script. Or else what we can do, we can use this parameter. Oh, that was some other parameter I was using, I guess. That was some other script. Let's see. See, one. So it gave us like that is not created. So what we did, we created a schema temp as that was as our script was showing. Use temp. Okay, so we have created a schema temp one in there, and then we are when we have run the script and it's running. So as that is a lot of major script, big script, so it is taking time. I'll be using less of it the next time. Okay, so let us see some of other scripts that time. So if you do not have a schema, you need to create it. Okay, so also you can use create schema in your scripts. Okay, schema, then create table, and you can use delimiter in that as well. Okay, so this is our script for when we want to like see what's going on with our test. We can use this script. Verbose is a flag that can be used to see the output in a proper manner. It's taking time. It is taking time. Let's talk about that then. Okay, so the next parameter we'll be talking about verbose. What we do have in this, we are using host here. Okay, we can use this as well, like instead of hyphen p we can use hyphen password, hyphen use this the password. Host, you can use any other server name as well. Okay, the concurrency is 20. Verbose, I'm using verbose here. So let's see what we have in our output. We are using delimiter. Let me use this here. That will be fine. Okay, so this is our script. So let's see. Oh, it's still going. I just excluded. Okay, so let's use this one where we are using verbose. Okay, you see, this is run and it will show you this like the benchmark. What is the benchmark? How is it? But we want to see this in more detail. Like what's the, we just checked the output of the query, but we want to see what our script is using. So I have used verbose in the starting of the our load test after the MySQL slap in the same query. Okay, so let's see what's the output will be now. You see, it started using showing you things, passing engine to use. Earlier it was not showing that. Okay, so you see, it is showing you everything. How's your queries are running, what's it doing, what a particular user is doing. So it is showing you everything. What the query we were using, the concurrency is 20, iteration 5. Okay, so it will show you all the things. 25 times they run the same script, 20 users are running this script, 2, 5. You see, 5 times 20 users run the same query. 1 insert into, you see, 1 select, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So 5 times they run the same query. They created a schema temp. They created 5 times like create table, then inserting the query. So this is how you use the MySQL slap utility to run the load test on the MySQL database. Also, with the help of verbose, you can monitor what's going on with the load test of yours. Okay, so that's all for the MySQL slap utility. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thank you.